Um, so I haven't really posted a whole lot of anything big or interesting on YouTube for a while. Certainly not live content. But I'm getting ready to put some edited content on. And I thought, well, you know what? Let's get a little sneak peek of what exactly it is I have been working on. And this is it. I'm building this big robot. I mean, I've probably mentioned it before. For those of you that follow me on Instagram or Twitch or have seen me make comments in other forums, you know I've been working on this robot for a while. It looks like this is still soft in the middle. Soft and gooey. But more recently, I started fiddling around with the idea of making this this little, wow, that's really gooey. Let's see what we got here. So basically what I'm going to do is I originally started sculpting this out of epoxy sculpt, which is very solid. I thought, you know, oh, I'll make the limbs out of aluminum tubing and I'll coat it with epoxy sculpt and I'll sand it. Yeah, that's really time consuming and labor intensive. So I'm not doing that anymore. I decided to go with an old favorite, foam clay. So what I've done is I've made the more or less the same parts, or mistakes, you might say, I don't know, in foam clay. And I'm going to try to take the foam clay and sculpt around it. I'm actually going to use the foam clay as the core material, and then I'm going to coat this with epoxy sculpt. So just to kind of give you a heads up, that's what it is. That's what I've been up to. So in that vein, here's all the little parts I've been working on. So what are these parts? Right now I've got what is going to be the base for the head, what might be a torso at some point, a couple of lower legs, a couple of upper thighs, and some forearms. And these aren't actually going to be the forearms. These are going to be the forearms underneath the forearm armor. I don't know what you'd call them. These big poofy scoopy things. And just in case you're wondering, this is to scale. So this is the size I want to build it. So that's why you see me kind of like lining stuff up every once in a while. But yeah, so I thought, you know what? Let's see if we can put some stuff down on this. See what happens. See how it reacts. It's all very experimental. I don't really have a backup plan for this. Well, I always have a backup plan. I've got a plan B, C, and D. I'm on plan C right now, so I'm running out of backup plans. So let's see what happens when I put a little bit of this stuff together. I don't have a ton of epoxy sculpt left. I mean, at one point I'd considered, oh, I'm gonna, some bugs in here. Let me turn on the fan. It's gonna be a little bit noisy, a little bit fan intensive. You might call it fantensive. But yeah. Let's get some of this epoxy sculpt mixed up. And, you know, see where that takes us. Now, it doesn't dry super quick, so, and when I say dry, I really mean cure. Hey, what's up, Quidgen? I am doing some business. So, bottom line is, I'm not going to get to see the results of this today. But at least we'll kind of see where I'm headed. So using a two-part epoxy sculpt, not epoxy, epoxy, it's the brand name. And but it is a two-part epoxy. Let's roll it up together. So my little technique is roll it in a ball, load it in a weenie. Hey, what's up, Thomby? So the way I do it is I kind of do this bit, get it stretched out, and then kind of fold it in my hand, and then roll it into a ball. I just kind of do it so fast you can't tell. Sleight of hand. Where'd it go? Nobody knows. It's right here. I feel like it should be singing like some kind of Italian meatball song or something. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I like the sketches too. You guys probably haven't seen a lot of these sketches in here. This has been kind of my project. Project sketch since I started this. And I've been kind of adding and subtracting to it. Ooh, it's getting hot in my hand. The chemicals are all over the place. So it's having a chemical reaction. And I think we've got it blended enough to cure. So the idea is I made foam clay sort of maquettes or little bases, underbodies, I don't know what you want to call them, but of this here, I'm going to coat it with the epoxy so that this, squishy clay will be covered with a hard candy-like shell of this. So the foam clay will still be curing in here. You can actually tell this foam clay is so thick. It's really, you can see that? It hasn't actually cured all the way through. It's just got kind of a soft, gooey center, like a candy, like a marshmallow candy. And it's kind of got a nougaty exterior. Now we're adding our hard candy shell. So I think right now what I'm going to do is just very carefully layer on very thin layers of this to kind of get it started, and just to see how well it does. And I'm hoping at the end of this it might be thin enough to be light but thick enough to be strong. And then I'll go back in and either sculpt in or carve in some other details. Maybe I shouldn't have wet it first. But looks like it's taken. And then once this is hard, I can keep the soft, light, gooey foam clay in there, or if I so desire, I can burn it out, scoop it out, drill it out, whatever I need to do. And what I should be left with is this kind of candy-like hard shell of this epoxy sculpt. In theory, I don't know. I don't know if it's actually going to work or not. What do you guys think? You think it'll work? Do you think it will be successful? It's anybody's guess, man. You can even lay bets on it. I'm not 100% sure myself, to be honest. This is the first time, as far as I know, that anyone's tried this with at least these two materials. Not a clue. Yeah, well, me either. Then we're in the same boat. We are of the same mind. So if you've never heard that before, if you've never heard anyone tell you that you and them are of the same mind, now is that time. Oh, because I'm doing it. Yeah, well, yeah, of course. And nothing I do fails. But, yeah, the thing is, I've done something similar with styrofoam and plaster. I've done it with, I've layered materials before. Tin foil and polymer clay. I mean, that's a nice one. or aluminum foil, whatever you want to, whatever your aluminum foil or foil metal of choice is. If it's not tin, let's get that out of the way. That's a yucky kind of boogery thing. And then while this is kind of drying, we can kind of look over the sketchbook and I can explain what's going on here. I can explain all of the mistakes I've made on Twitch before coming back to YouTube. And I'm not saying I've left YouTube at all, but it was just more convenient for me for a while to make live streaming on Twitch, which I've already run into some issues with that have kind of made me reconsider that. But that's another story. You guys are probably already privy to that drama. So, let's see if I can use some shapers now. No, I wasn't super crazy about Twitch. I liked how easy it was to do live streaming. Not that YouTube is really all that difficult. But, I mean, I thought, oh, well, you know, maybe it'll be another way for me to reach an audience. There's no real, like, at least, not that there isn't an algorithm, I'm sure there is, but I wasn't familiar with an algorithm on Twitch. YouTube's algorithm seems to favor certain things that, you know, my little channel doesn't really do. And I'm not an algorithm chaser either. I mean, you guys probably know by now, I'm not doing this for any kind of money. Not that I would turn it down, but, you know, I'm kind of just trying stuff out. And one of the things that happened on Twitch was that I didn't like was, and I didn't realize it, because, you know, I'm not really good with this whole social media thing. I should be, you'd think, right? But one of the things that happened that I wasn't crazy about was somebody from Southeast Asia, or I don't know, it could have been anywhere. Could have been Romania for all I know, or even the US, somebody in Illinois. But bottom line is, what happened was some folks took some of the content from Twitch, the live content, downloaded it or copied it. I don't know how they did it specifically. They could have just, I'm sure there's lots of ways to do it, but they reposted it on YouTube as, I guess, their own, because there wasn't any description that included my name in there. It just said sculptor sculpting some sort of business, and I was like, hey now, those are my fingery hands making that thing that I made. Not that guy's. So yeah, that happened. So that kind of irritated me a little bit in terms of how I feel about Twitch. That was pretty irritating, I should say. I can say without any doubt in my mind, that was very irritating. Almost looks like we're making a little cuirass, right? Right? No? Something like that? I don't know. What did the blacksmith say to the armorer when he was working on a chess piece? Am I piquing your curiosity? Yeah. That may be one of the worst puns I've ever had. Yeah, you know, but I mean, it's not like I lost anything. Maybe I lost viewers, but did I? I mean, I don't know. They could be fake likes on that. That was the other thing, is like the guy had like over 1,000 or something users, and it was an old account from like 13 years ago. There were two actually channels. But yeah, I already have a little video about it if you really want to learn a little bit more. I don't really want to jibber jabber about it. I've already whined about it enough. Why cry over spilt milk? I got too many other things going on to worry about that stuff. I'm not a drama person. I don't like to tell people about my personal drama or anything, you know. I'm just not that kind of guy. Just not the way I was raised. You know. When you get a splinter in your finger, you just take it out. You don't cry about it. You take it out and then move on. But, you know, that's just the way I was brought up. Nobody's got time to listen to your complaining. All right. So, I don't know if this is going to work or not. It looks like it's about the right size. Let's move this out of the way. We got a little bit more to go. But so here it is. Let's flip this up. So this is about where the shoulder is. So the shoulder's right there. It's got a little bit of a lean, which is fine because it's going to sit into that. So I still got plenty of room to sculpt onto it. This is just the base. Plenty of room to work with. I've also made parts for the lower legs, or the upper legs rather, with the joints. The lower legs, which I'm going to sculpt onto. This little guy here. The head. The lower torso. There's the other lower leg. And where's that other? There it is. And here's the other upper leg. You notice I didn't do the upper arm. I might just use a metal tube for that. I don't know yet. Do not know yet. Hey, what's up, Silver? Oh, is Esrom on here? Wow, man, everybody's coming on. All my old favorites. Yeah, been a while, huh? Been a hot minute since everybody was on one of my live streams. But somebody was telling me the other day in Twitch, it's like, yeah, you know, more and more people are moving from Twitch back to YouTube. I'm like, really? They're like, what do you think? Are you going to go to YouTube? I'm like, dude, I've been on YouTube. Like, I was new to Twitch, man. I don't know. Yeah, sure, whatever. All right, so as soon as I'm done putting this little last bit of putty around this thing, then we can kind of go into like the ins and outs of what I'm doing here and why I'm doing it. I think most of you more or less have a good idea anyway. So you probably already know to some degree what this is about. You can Oh yeah, that's right, Silver. I've been seeing some of your stuff. Dude, you've got like this crazy how far have you gotten on the Bat Cave exactly? I mean, I know you probably haven't posted everything. I'm sure there's like lots of stuff that you've already worked on that you haven't put up on video yet, but I don't know if I saw that Bat Cave fully fleshed out, like, and completed. Did you coat it with something already? Sorry, but hear that. That sounds painful. All right. Looks like we're kind of at a stopping point here, so I've run out of putty. All right, so I'll kind of give you a better idea of what I'm doing here in a sec. I'm just kind of stabilize this a little bit. Okay. I'm going to get it to a form that's a little bit decent. There we go. We'll just put that over here. I'm just going to set that right there. If you want to zoom in, see, this is the thing I don't like about Twitch. I can zoom in on YouTube. For whatever reason, Twitch doesn't let my phone zoom in when I'm doing live. Weird. So, all right. So here's all the stuff. Let me explain all the stuff that's actually going on here. For those that aren't already indoctrinated into it, this is a robot I'm building for that OMC competition. It's 11 inches tall. This is an actual scale, 2-scale, 1/72 plan that I'm using. There's the pilot. I wanted it to be fully posable, so I wanted articulated limbs, ball jointed arms, elbows, the whole 9 yards. I went through a lot of fuss making ball joints. So this is a double ball joint for the knee. There's a little itty bitty version of that for the elbow, right? And so on and so forth, you know. And then you got you had your hip joints. Here was the head joint. And I haven't abandoned that. The idea was I was going to take aluminum rod tubes and connect those tubes with the putty so that I had a little cup like this. See what I did there? On either end of these. And then I would run an elastic cord through all of these, just like a BJD doll. That's why I've been researching those so much lately, to make basically a robot BJD doll, or ball jointed doll. Cookies and fingers. But that wasn't quite turning out like I wanted. So I made this guy, or thing, or chick, or underoos, whatever you want to call them. I made this ball jointed section. I made the upper leg, and I put it together. And I'm not going to say it was a total failure. It was actually, it was actually working okay. But I don't know. There just was something it wasn't really gelling with me. And what I noticed about a lot of the BJDs is they're basically just hollow shells. There's nothing inside them. I wanted to make mine. And the amount of putty I would have to use to fill all this out, I'm not even sure if I had that much. So partially for saving on how much putty I'm using, partially to save on the amount of work, sanding and scraping and drilling, I decided, okay, I'm going to toss that idea out. We're keeping the joints. We're still using the joints. I was originally using this really skinny elastic band. I mean, it's like 0.81 or something like that, millimeters, or about 1 millimeter, barely. And I jumped it up to this 3 millimeter one, which is a lot thicker, a hell of a lot tighter, a lot stronger. And if all else fails, I've got springs as a backup. Ta-da! Springy! Springtime! I wish. Need more rain around here. So these were the original plans, which kind of evolved into some more plans on some other plans. So yeah, these things here, these are like pads in here on these sort of forearm things. Inside the big pads, I was also going to do like it's got a cabling system with these spikes it shoots out, because if it's a giant robot and it's racing around, it might need to balance itself on something. So it had like a steel cable that came out, or some other kind of, I don't know what material. It's fantasy. Come on. And the spike would come out, and then on the spike would have these little propeller things, and it would be like a grappling hook, and there's like a motor, and then this was supposed to be, let's see, where is it? This one. That's supposed to be underneath that helmet, is a sort of robotic face, but I don't know what I may not even do that. And then there's another to scale drawing of, let's zoom out again, the figure. So this is about the same scale, just to kind of give me an idea what I was working with. More of the same. What are these? These little parts here. To kind of give me an idea, like, well, how far have I got to go on this thing? So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm just kind of at this. So I made these new legs, which I'm going to put some new ball joints in. They seem already to kind of fit a little better than the other one. We're going to drill some holes through that. I might just hollow this out. This is going to be covered with that hard putty also. We're going to see how the torso turns out, and then go from there. And we'll see how far it gets. There's this part, and then there's this part that goes there. There's the head. So now you kind of have an idea where I'm going with it. But yeah. The other thing I like about the epoxy sculpt is you can really sand it down smooth if you need to, which I think if it's in a thinner shell like this, it's a hell of a lot. I mean, this actually weighs less than this. This weighs less than this. So you can see the advantage right there. Advantage foam clay. What other things? Then I got some other drawings. I started talking about, hey, you know what I want to do? You guys ever heard of Big Chungus? I don't know if I can focus in on that guy. He's that Bugs Bunny, the fat Bugs Bunny from that 1944 cartoon. So somebody made a Big Chungus bunny, and they turned him into a Doom Mancubus. Is that what they're called? So maybe I'll do that. That looks like fun. Here's another. I keep trying to figure out what to do with these roller skate legs. Uh-oh. I think I just lost something. My mind! That's what got lost. I've lost my mind. Doody-doody-doo. I know Esrom's probably up to date on all this. He's caught some of my live streams. Dozy, 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 do. Alright, there's the missing part. You'll never guess what part this is. It's the, say it with me, it's the skull. 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 Little ASMR for you ASMR needy. Ah, la, 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 la. Feel like a beer. I should probably do my treadmill tonight and not drink a beer, but maybe I'll just do both. Kill two birds with one stone. Anywho, yeah, guys, I guess if you got any questions, you know, let me know. Let me know what's up. I thought I'd just explain myself to all the YouTube followers who haven't seen me really put anything out in a while. And that's it. That's what I've been up to. So I'm at 30 minutes. I wasn't meaning for this to be very long anyway. I guess the other stuff I kind of have here in my little bag of tricks is I got all my magnets. I've got all my bended tubes of bendiness. I got all these really nice M2 hex cap screws, socket head screws. These are going to come in handy. They're super tiny. Yeah. So yeah. And then once I'm done with all this jazz, I'll probably get back to normal making some other things. But I do want to get more into more sculpting than, you know, junk bot making. I mean, that's fun, but I kind of dig the sculpting thing a little bit more. It's just slightly more time consuming than a 45-minute robot. So it makes it a little bit harder. You saw the back of the future vid. Back to the Future vid. What? I'm very confused. What did I miss? Saw the back to. That was my little Back to the Future ditty. On the whistler there. Yeah. All right, I'm spent. I got to do stuff. I got things to do this week. I got, you know, people things, real life things. But, yeah, the deadline's coming up pretty quick on this one, so I need to start seeing some actual results with my experimentation. I can't just experiment everything away. Yeah, I know. I've got this incredible whistle. Yes. Yep. All right, I better go. Otherwise, you'll have me sitting here whistling the theme from Jason Robards' character in the Once Upon a Time in the West. You know I want to. You know I do. Maybe I'll do that as I'm walking away and turning off the lights. All right, catch you guys later. Bye. How do I end this, actually? You know, it's been so long. I don't know how to end it. I'm just kidding. Later.